Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the preview for this upcoming sermon this week. As you know, last week we kind of kicked off a new journey through the Old Testament. We looked at Genesis chapter 2 and everything that went on there, Adam naming the animals and Eve coming along and all those sorts of things. This week, as we continue to focus on God being at the center of Israel's life here in particular, and then moving into the Gospel of Mark at the end of the year, but also with this sub-theme of thinking about names, we're going to be looking at a story in Genesis 18 and 21. So I want you to read both of those chapters. Some really important things happen. And this is actually one of my favorite stories in the Hebrew Bible. It's such a silly and fascinating story. I mean, it's one that I can't help it. Every time I read it, I just kind of laugh. I chuckle inside at what happens here. It's a story about Abraham and Sarah. And it's this really beautiful moment where these people show up to talk to Abraham. Sarah over here, she laughs about what is promised to her. And then she ends up naming her child after that event. It's really fascinating. It's a lot of fun, but there's a lot of rich meaning in there as well. What is God doing with us and through us in these sorts of moments? And so I'm really looking forward to talking about the story because one, it's just a fun story. You know, we were in Romans for so long. We're really looking at, a lot of meat, a lot of digging into some difficult theological topics. And here we get this lighthearted and fun moment, right? We're back kind of in story mode now, as opposed to down in the nitty gritty of theology. And I like that. It's taking us to a new place, like last week did too. We had a lot of fun with that story. So I'm really looking forward to talking about it this week. Genesis 18 and 21. Again, I want you to read that. Come prepared to think and talk about it. Because I really think you're going to enjoy it. I know I'm going to have fun as I dive into it this week in my study personally. And then as we get into it on Sunday morning, I know it's going to be a lot of fun to talk about it and to hear your thoughts as well. So feel free to read and to prepare. One of the things that I also want to maybe encourage you to do, this is going to be something new that we're going to try. You don't have to do it. It's totally up to you on whether you want to or not. I'm not even sure how many people actually watch these videos. But if you are so inclined, engage with us on our Facebook page. When you see this, kind of tell me, read, and then kind of tell me what do you think about the story? What's going on there? And I want to kind of look at those and just see what people think about it. Feel free to post your own video in response. I'm not sure how many of you might know how to do that, but it's really not that difficult. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to record your own little video and put it up there in response to mine. And we can have a dialogue that way if you want. But whatever you do, I hope you read. Because in reading God's word, we can always be blessed. And so I definitely want to encourage you to do that. So a fun story coming up this week, Genesis 18 and 21. Take a look at that and engage on Facebook if that's your thing, if that's something you feel like you may want to do. All right. I'm looking forward to it this Sunday. I hope everybody has a blessed week this week, and I will talk to you next week.